come home to a full course meal? What we married for? What we married for?
I'm not your mama. I'm your wife. Why you didn't get something on your way home?
If you want to support the platform just in case anything like this happens again, you can do it by way of PayPal, Patreon, Cash App, and also by the Anchor. And you can also further support the platform by way of going to the Teespring store or the shoe store that is located in the comment section below.
So you mean to tell me I just pulled a 13-hour shift and I ain't got no food to come on to? Huh?
Why you didn't get something on your way home? Why you always recording for your raggedy cousins?
Look, I just pulled a 13-hour shift. You being my wife, I pay all the bills in here.
All the dishes clean, your clothes clean. Why? What?
You don't fix me no lunch for my job. You eating? You work from home.
Okay,
I can't come home to a full course meal.
This is leftover that I had from last night.
And I'm just going to state this. I'm not sure why he selected to marry her. Clearly, I saw some women in the comment section. They wanted to state, well, she works for home. They thought that we were really going to feel sorry for him and whoop-de-woo and all this. No, 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 no. He pulled a 13-hour shift, right? So for 13 hours, he's away from home, right? That's 13 hours that he has to do, right? And what? Then he has to sleep, correct? So let's say that he might maybe get a full, 8 hours, right? So he works for 13 hours, right? 13 hours plus 8 hours. That's 21 hours, which means that he has what, 3 hours left, not even to himself, because you got to take a shower. You gotta, in a sense, get your clothes on and stuff like that. Then you also got to do transportation to work, and you more than likely, what type of hours do you really have to yourself, right? So his 24 hours is pretty much consumed because he's doing 13 hours, 12 to 13 hours. And she's working specifically from home, and this is where a lot of women were, oh well, she works from home. I see that the kitchen is clean, the dishes are done, she did your clothes. You acting like she really did a lot. Like somebody else basically stated, the reason why the dishes are done is probably because ain't nobody in the house cooking. He can't afford to cook. Why? Because he's doing 13, 12, 13 hours. He's doing long shifts. She's at home. If you listen to the background, I didn't hear any kids. Nor in the conversation did I hear any of them mention kids. So kids are completely out of the equation, because a lot of women like to bring that up. Oh, well, what if what about the kids? And it ain't no kids here. These are two adults. That's it. So you have one that is working away from home, whose 24 hours is pretty much consumed just by working and by sleeping. And then you have another adult who is at home 24 hours out of the day and does what, some hours of work, and then has the rest of the day to herself to do whatever it is that she wants to do. And you saw what it is that she wanted to do. She was like, oh, well, I'm not going to sit up there and cook for myself, so I'm going to just order some pizza. Wow. This is when I want to just tell guys to be very selective in the women that you decide that you want to get married to, because you're locked up with them for whatever, time duration that it is. So if you want somebody that is going to cook, that is going to, clean the house, do your clothes, and all this other type of stuff, then you better make sure to find your woman. Look here, you better scour the planet. You can sit up there and find your woman that will do this, because obviously she ain't that one. Because the other thing that the women wanted to also overlook was the fact that he pays all of the bills, which means where's her money going? because it ain't going to none of the bills if he's working 13 hours to cover everything that's there so that she can be at home. Like I said, that's a luxury. He's allowing her to do that because he's footing the bill. But she couldn't even decide to just get up out of her laziness and just cook the dude a dinner. Matter of fact, let me pull back. Let me pull back because I understand how some women will sit up there and get on that. No problem, no problem. Let me pull back on the dinner, right? He stated that she couldn't even fix him a lunch. So you mean to tell me that she's working so hard from home to the bone that her back is hurting, her feet are hurting, her hands are hurting, that she couldn't even put together like a simple sandwich, some bread, some mayo, some lettuce, and whatever else that he wants on there with like a drink? That's hard work. That's crazy. That's crazy. For everything that he's going through right now, he might as well just sit up there and get a maid and just call it like a done deal.
Another one.
But I'm saying I can't come home to a
Why
full
didn't
course meal. What we married for? What we married for?
I'm not your mama. I'm your wife.
The sad part is, she was dead ass serious.
I'm just trying to figure out where are we at right now, where every single time a man who is married to a woman, right, he asks of her to do something. And she's like, well, I'm your wife. I'm not your mother. What? What are we doing here? What what are we doing here? That would be the equivalent of that would be as if you are about to be accosted by a man and you're looking for your husband for protection and he's like, I'm your husband, not your father. Do we not understand how dumb this sounds? Do we not understand how stupid this is at this moment in time that we're in a society where women can decide that yeah, I'm going to accept this proposal and be this man's wife, but I'm not going to do anything that comes along with that title. And then if he asks me to do anything, I'm going to promptly tell him that I'm your wife, not a servant, and not a maid, and especially not your mother. What are we doing here? He's requesting the bare minimum. The bare minimum. He's not asking for anything that's extravagant. He's not telling her like, yo, every time I come in the house, I'm expecting you to like be dressed to the 10, have, some heels on, have, like a nice tight, fitting dress, to have your makeup and your hair done. I expect you to be presentable every time. He's not asking for none of that. He's like, yo, it's like, you know what? Fine. You couldn't even make me a dinner, no problem. You couldn't even make me a lunch just for me to take to work. And then to see women co-signing this woman, it lets me know why it is that there are a lot of single women out here and why it is that a lot of women are not married. Because a lot of y'all got this type of mentality and you expect that a man is going to sit up there and, fully take care of you and you not doing nothing. Like I said, you're not paying no bills, you're not cooking no meals. What are you doing? What are you doing? And for anybody that's going to sit up and say, well, she did the dishes, and if he had the time, he could easily do his own dishes. If he had the time, he could easily do his own clothes. But all of his time is pretty much consumed with sleeping and working. And then he has a few hours after that. Like I said before, you would technically expect that the person who is at home 24 hours during the day is going to pick up that slack that obviously that person can't do. That's usually what takes place in relationships. That's usually the compromise, right? But obviously, this woman here just believes that she's a princess. She doesn't have to do anything. She can just hold the title without having to do any of the duties. Completely ridiculous.
Your dishes clean, your clothes clean, your clothes. You always got them clean clothes when you go to work, don't you? Can you stop recording me?
I can't come home to a full course meal. Working all these long goddamn hours, I can't come home to a full course meal? Huh? I just knew I was gonna come home and have some food on the goddamn stove. And now you playing, man. You playing. You
could have got something on
playing.
your way home. You could
Well,
have
you
got
playing. What the hell we
home.
get married for? You been doing it for like 2 or 3 months, man. What is it? I can't get no food when I come to the house.
Look here. Usually I'm the main person that would try to tell people to work stuff out, but the brother said that it was about she been doing this for about 2 to 3 months. So I'm guessing that this is a new marriage. If y'all ain't really been married that long, hurry up and just get a divorce. It's time to cut the cord, hire you like a maid, and hire you a chef. If you got enough money to hold up that house and to also allow her to not foot no type of bills and she can just work and do and spend the money however it is that you need to just sit up there and hire you a maid and hire you a chef. That's all you got to do, brother. That's all you got to do. There are catering services that you can specifically go to and they will cater food for you and have that basically planned out for you, brother. It ain't no reason for you to continuously have to deal with this for whatever length amount of time or duration. You don't need to allow this to continue for no year, no 2 years, no 3 years, no 4 years, no 10 years. That does not even need to happen. Like I said, hopefully this is like an early marriage so you can hurry up and just get out. She ain't about to get no money up off you because it ain't no reason for her to even get no money. She got a job. She can afford for herself. She can pay her own bills. She can pay her own way. She can do all of that. The same way that she was able to sit up there and get that food for herself, she can go out there and fend for herself too. Because she decided to, after he basically stated again that he was out there working these long shifts and he was expecting to come home to something. She was like, well, how come you ain't get something out when you was out? What are you talking about? How do you fix your face? You're allowed an opportunity to have the type of lifestyle that you have, and you want to fix your face to tell that man that been working 13 hours, why didn't you get something to eat while you were out? Wow. Wow. But like I said before, this is how bold a lot of women are because they feel like they don't have to do nothing. They can get all of these nice things, all of these niceties, and all this other, and they don't got to work for nothing. And this is why you see a lot of men out here changing up how it is that they used to do stuff because they understand now that women took things for granted. All the niceties that dudes used to just freely do, right? Let me sit up here and carry your bags. Let me just sit up there and pump your gas. Let me hold this door open. Let me open this door for you. Let me pay this for you. It's like, all of these things that guys would just sit up there and do because they're guys and also because this is how we were raised. But we didn't understand and we didn't know that it would come to a certain point in time where instead of those things would be looked at as a dude being generous, it would be expected. And then you would have people that would also expect those things. They would just try to use a guy just specifically for that and not respect it. They would take it for granted. They would mistreat and use the guy. They would just see the guy as a meal ticket. So I just want a lot of women out here to understand if you end up running into guys that are not so nice anymore, look amongst you. Look at the women that you see every day that you are friends with, coworkers and family members, and look at specifically how it is that they treat men. Because of the way that they treat men, this is the reason why it is that men are no longer doing the things that they used to do. And again, for the guys specifically, stop taking L's like this. You need to vet these women. You need to, do whatever verification that you need to do in order to make sure that this is going to be a woman that is going to take care of you when you're sick, that is, going to, cook for you, that is going to be with you when times are very tough. This is going to be a woman that is going to do the things that you expect of them, right? Just as that woman would expect certain things of you, right? It should be a symbiotic relationship, not a parasitic relationship. And this is clear cut a parasitic relationship slash marriage.